Hello friends, my name is Maximus and I'll be your dungeon master for this evening. I'd like to welcome you all to the 52nd episode of Caches and Cantrips, where some of your favorite streamers play Dungeons & Dragons live on Friday nights. I'm joined by our amazing cast of Bunny Dreadful, Mac and Cheese Please, Virtual, Spectre, and Moobs Like Jagger from the GGN crew.
Why is Moobs always from the GGN crew?
I mean,
because we got dudes. There's four of us.
They got all the dudes.
Yeah. But Moobs is always like this whole title, you know?
Y'all can have titles if you want.
And we have Mac and Cheese Please from Mac and Cheese Please.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
yeah.
I'm
Mac
sorry.
and Cheese Please
Princess
from...
Mac and Cheese Please.
Yeah.
Is that what you were looking
Yes.
for? Got you.
Famous YouTube Minecraft creator, Mac and Cheese.
Yeah.
Won tons of awards, accolades,
Oh, okay, stop.
gets fan arts.
I instantly regret this.
Anyway, hope you all got some much needed rest and relaxation last week. I know I did. I wasn't feeling well, so I had to call the game. I'm sorry, everybody. I also have some bad news, as we're not going to have a game. We might not have a game next week, but stay tuned on the Twitter. We'll let y'all know as soon as we can. But you know, things are happening. We got stuff going on. So, but aside from that, everything should be normal. One good thing is that our podcast is almost up to 1450 plays. I think we're like a handful short. So
Very nice.
if you like the podcast, or if you've never even like listened to it, or I don't know, you want to click it and listen, go for it. And I
Get
will
to the gym more often and listen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And there's a
walk the
link
dog.
to yeah.
The children.
Oh,
Show
I
us
hit the
your-
wrong button, but you know that's
Your
fine.
swole progress.
Yeah, so you can just go to cachesandcantrips.com to find the link there, which that'll be in the chat or the description, or you can type it in based on what you heard from me talking. But that has everything you need. You can go to our Patreon, you can go to our merch store, which is like right in the site, and you can buy some cool merch. We have some other stuff upcoming. I know that Moobs wants tank tops, and you will have tank tops, sir. I promise. I promise.
Sun's
I
out, guns out.
literally brought it up like every day last weekend. So
I know. Yep. She did. So
We're gonna do it.
they will happen. So we'll have other cool stuff. Whenever my brain has time
We're
to
gonna get
do
you
brain
those-
things.
nice tank tops just in time for fall.
No,
I wear them all the time. So
No, they'll
I
be out
live in
before fall.
I live
Come
in
on.
Southern California. It's hot all the time. So
It's true.
Yeah. Here it's so hot. Tank tops are bad because they'll just burn your arm.
that's true.
Village, I see you. I'm working on. I'm trying. No promises, but just know you've been seen.
Ronnie
fanny
packs.
packs?
Let's
Ro-
go.
Ronnie
I want to make Ronnie packs, but I haven't figured out the details yet. So no
Anyway,
promises.
so yeah, we're working on merch stuff. And you could also go to our website and look at our Patreon. There's a couple different tiers where you can get podcasts early. You can get the actual video episodes early, or you can help me make an NPC. I know I feel like I've been saying this forever, but it's depending on y'all where you go and when you go. But they're coming up very soon.
Can you
trust me.
hint us where to go?
You don't need hints because you're gonna go there. So
Oh. Okay.
You don't-
All right.
What?
you don't need hints. You're
What'd
gonna
I
go
miss?
there.
I was too busy thinking about Ronnie packs. What did I miss?
Yeah, I zoned out. I don't know. All I came back was that we're going
Everyone
somewhere, and
blacked
I'm
out.
like, are we going to Disney? Dad?
Don't tell him, Max. Don't tell him. It's gonna be a surprise.
Mm-mm.
Dad.
To hear what I just said, you'll have to go back and listen to the podcast.
Yeah, we're too lazy for that.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Wow.
But I
Damn.
have to hear my own voice. That's not happening.
That's true. That's true. I don't like listening to my own voice either. To be honest. You
Too
get
bad
used
you
to
have
it.
to.
Yep, that's true. Also, if this is your first time here, or if you've just forgotten, all of our
I'm
alerts
sorry.
are muted, so there's no sound effects and bells and whistles, but we do post them in the chat, and then we also see them in our hearts. So I know all of you that support us via Patreon or subscribing or any of the other awesome stuff following, so we can I see them and I appreciate them, and I'm glad that you all seem to enjoy something about this D&D show. Let me know what it is so I can keep doing it. But with that being said, I hope you all are ready for tonight's episode of Casters and Cantrips. Our story last left off with Lord Crawford Cook naming Ron as his champion for the trial by combat. In response, Emperor Oscar Vantus named Sir Destrian Stone to be the champion for the crown. Sir Stone appeared to be a well-seasoned warrior, especially since the crown called upon him directly. It was decreed that the trial by combat would happen the following morning at first light. After Ron got some clarification on the rules and procedures from Chancellor Wyndham, the party made their way out of the throne room and into the entry of the Citadel. The group then spoke with Margaret Piernell. The barrister was quite surprised that Lord Cook decided on this option, and he apparently did not even consult her about the course of action of choosing a trial by combat. The group asked Margaret about Sir Stone, but she only had some very basic information about him. As the party left the Citadel entirely, it was decided that Vin would change her form and follow Sir Stone to try and gather more information. After a few tense moments where Vin almost lost Sir Stone in the crowd, she was able to follow the knight across the city. She eventually followed him all the way to the bastion on the far side. Just before he entered into the military encampment known as the Bastion, Vin introduced herself, or her alter ego, to the knight, and she struck up a conversation with him in an attempt to fish for some information. Ultimately, she convinced Sir Stone that she would like to join the Dawnbringers and to worship Lathander like he does. Sir Stone escorted Vin to a nearby temple to the Morning Lord, and there, Sir Stone introduced her to the priest that was presiding over the temple. After learning as much information as she could, she left the temple to find the rest of the party. Meanwhile, they, Sweet Justice, or the rest of them anyway, were at the local tavern looking for some delicious chicken soup sandwiches and discussing the upcoming trial by combat. Vin passed on the information that she learned about Sir Stone, including that he worships the Morning Lord and then he was in fact a paladin. The party then spent some time cleaning up in a local bathhouse and getting some much needed rest before the upcoming fight. The next day, they returned to the throne room where the layout had been altered to accommodate this grand trial by combat. There were some spectators amongst the noble class in the imperial court, and as Ron entered the makeshift battle arena, the rest of Sweet Justice found their own seats around the battle to come. The Emperor decreed that whatever the outcome of the trial by combat, he would honor it. After his announcement, the trial by combat began. Ron stood toe-to-toe with Sir Stone, and the paladins both exchanged mighty blows and divine spells. Ultimately, Ron was able to pull through, and he narrowly defeated Sir Stone with a final killing blow. Immediately after the trial was over, Ron cast Revivify on the knight, thus bringing him back to life. When the trial by combat concluded, the Emperor decreed that Lord Crawford Cook would be cleared of all the charges brought forth against him. However, based upon information brought to light during this trial, Lord Kelvin Thornsby would remain the interim Lord of Tustin, while a thorough investigation would be performed looking into Salon's alleged interference in the Empire's affairs. After Sweet Justice left the Citadel, they caught up with Lord Cook, and he was happy to reimburse Ron for the diamond expended in bringing the Revivify spell. And Vin was able to make a deal with a local printing shop to print and distribute her zine all throughout the capital. With all of their business concluded in the city of Falshir, the party set off towards Tustin to get to the bottom of what was going on in the Order of Iberus. So, you are exiting the city of Falshir, seeing the long queue getting into the city where there's still only one gate available to the public. And I'm assuming, well, you're making your way to Tustin?
Correct. Heading back home, or I guess HQ.
Very well. Okay. So, you are here in Falshir, of course, and making your way up to Tustin here on the map, which normally would take you about 7 days, but hey, you've got some horses, so it will only take you about 5 and some change. So, you make your way up through the main roads, passing by the forest and the Shoya Lake Academy that you all are familiar with. Make your turn to the west over to Tustin and are able to get there without much issue. As it's been stated before, there's still a war ongoing between Ramcrown and Falshir, so there are plenty of not only guards but the Imperial Army traveling to and fro, so not the safest place for bandits and other ruffians to operate currently, especially this close to the capital and the other major cities. So, probably midday after 5 days of travel, it is now the 7th of Undecim, and you make your way over to Tustin, of the city, or the town of which you're very familiar with, as it is the epicenter of your guild. In my epicenter, I mean the only center of your guild. And you make your way there over through the gates on the southern side and make your way over to the eastern area where the guild is sort of built upon the wall there. So, what do you do?
So do we see? So we were back at the guild. I think first we look for Taryn Van.
Yeah. Ron kicks the door. No, he doesn't kick the door down.
Should we make a plan before we go in, though? Like, do we rough him up a little bit? Do we?
No, we're gonna talk to Taryn. He probably didn't know that Quentin was being.
He might have information. We
Can't
might have to rough him up.
He's like an old man.
Wait.
He'll probably die.
What if we pretend we don't know, and then we say, "Oh, where is Quentin?" And then
I feel like
see.
he probably knows that we know.
But then
How
he
would
will
he
have
know?
reaction. We will judge reaction.
I think he can't be corrupt. He just cannot, because the whole reason Order of Iberus was founded is because Taryn Van believed in helping people and doing the right thing. It is like did none of you read, like when you signed up, you did not read paperworks describing like the About Us section? You did not read that page?
How would I read that?
No, I let you do that, Bryn. You just told Ron to sign.
Yeah, but
I just thought they were going to pay me money for stuff I would do anyways. So.
But okay, well, Taryn Van founded Order of Iberus because he was this great
Adventurer.
And he was like basically the best guy, and he wanted the world to be a better place, and he thought, what, instead of retiring and just being like rich and doing his own thing, he instead took all of his resources and started guilds so that he could get people like us to come out and like help others in need. It is whole point of guild. No, like it is Quentin that cares all about money and things. I don't think Taryn Van even cares. That's why he doesn't even take care of money. It's probably not even good with it. Because he blew all his starting
You
guild.
know, every time we try to talk to Taryn Van, he always tells us to go to Quentin. Oh, he must be very stressed. Quentin not here, having to do all the paperwork, all the day-to-day
Exactly.
stuff. He must be very stressed.
I mean, I said we just go in direct, ask him if he heard the news about Quentin and get his thoughts,
Okay,
and just see what he says.
good plan.
So no roughing up.
No roughing up.
No!
Okay, this is very bad.
But
You
Okay.
can't rough him up. He's sort of like our boss, but more boss.
Yeah,
Did
you
you
call.
good cop, bad cop?
I was thinking good cop, sleeveless cop.
Sexy cop?
He's an old man. How old
I
is
can be
Taryn,
an old
man?
woman.
Old man.
Old man aged.
Yep.
Yeah, you call him Gramps. That's like grandpa, right? So you cannot hit your grandpa.
I can be
You'd be surprised.
Grams.
Sometimes the Gramps are the strongest one in the room, you know. Okay,
All I'm
fine.
saying-
We'll go in and we'll do. You
Play
guys,
it straight, and if anything's suspicious, anything at all, you can rough up. How about that?
Okay, Ron, what if well, I guess
Ron will wink if
he
suspicions
would
happen.
see Ron cast Zone of Truth.
Let's just go in and talk.
Okay, okay.
We'll see what happens.
All right. So as you had entered your way into Tustin and were devising your plans, there's currently raining. Just a light little shower coming in from the sea to the west, and you open up the sort of large double doors that lead into the Order of Iberus. And when you come in, you see that things are in a little bit of like disarray. Things aren't as tidy as they usually are. There's some like plates, bowls, cups left on sort of the grand table in the entrance where you often find other adventurers eating, talking, discussing things. It almost seems rather empty. You see some adventurers sort of coming to and fro, doing what they can, but there are nearly not enough, or not as many people here that you normally are used to. But as you walk in, Taryn is nowhere to be found.
Oh,
You're just in sort of the big main
Was there-
chamber. There's plenty of other
was there
areas
a
in here.
third in command? Be under Quentin, or is just them two
could just
running
ask one of the other
everything?
people if they've seen them.
Good idea.
I walk up to one of the other adventurers and put my hand on their shoulder and be like, "Have you seen the old man?"
Oh, and you sort of tap on the shoulder, sort of a gnome man who is tinkering with some
I kneel down and tap on his shoulder.
tinkering with some sort of mechanism, and he says, "Oh, sorry, what were you asking?"
The old man, is he in? Have you seen him?
I think he was in well, Quentin's office looking for some things.
What have you heard about Quentin lately? I heard he was a little dust up, maybe.
Well, I wasn't here, but we all heard that he was apprehended by some of the Imperial Arcanists and sort of swooped in and taken and swooped out of here. And word has sort of trickled down that he is a traitor to the crown. And
That's
Well,
crazy.
right, I think
Can't believe it.
Accurate.
probably over half of the order have left. So
Like left, like not
Oh.
like they're just not here right now, but like they are like no longer part of order.
right, no longer part of the order. So
Okay, so we
Whoa.
are going to be able to get all the jobs.
doing what I can to fix things around here and help out the old man. He certainly needs it.
Okay. Well, appreciate the information. I'm gonna try to find him.
Should be over in that way, and just point you in the direction that you've gone many different times.
All right,
Half
well,
the people, huh?
mosey over. This is not well, it's good that we get more job, but it's not good for order.
Oh, no.
Be stretched thin.
That's terrible.
I mean, I need whatever money I can kind of scratch together at this point, but I don't see it lasting very long, to be honest. I'm sure a lot of us will be moving on pretty soon unless there's some drastic changes, so.
No, you can't move on. There will be changes.
Well, I'll believe it when I see it.
And your name was? Sorry.
You mean, didn't we work together on our jobs? Don't remember.
There's a high possibility.
What?
You know,
Really?
we've been on the road for days now. My mind's a little hazy. Apologies.
Right. You can call me Tobias.
Tobias, that's right. It was right there in the front of my mind.
Toby.
Right.
You're a good man, Tobias.
Not good enough to be remembered, apparently, but that's okay.
Ooh.
I'm gonna go back to fixing some things. So. He is back to fixing a couple of things.
We worked with him before.
I mean,
I'm
you all
asking,
been in the
like- I'm
guild
asking,
around
like,
before, but not since your current adventures started.
Ron just whispers like, Ron has no idea who he is.
Yeah, I mean, I was a complete lie. I still don't remember him. Does that make
Let
me
us,
an asshole or what?
um,
I mean, I don't
Mm.
care, but
no. Yes. Ron's not sure.
okay.
Okay, that's fine, old man.
Yeah, let's head towards Terran Van.
So you make your way back through the hallways where some of these like spirit chambers are for people to stay in, where Terran Van's room is, and then Quentin's office. And you sort of approach. You can see with the doors open that Terran is sort of seated at Quentin's desk, and his head is in his hands. There are just papers sprawled all around the office. And it just kind of looks like someone that is sort of at their wits' end. Like they don't know what to do next at this point, and they're just trying to take a solitary moment or two just to figure out what they're going to do now.
Excuse me, Mr. Van.
Oh,
I mean,
And he-
sir,
you see him wipe his eyes a bit, and you can see that they're sort of red and puffy and a little
Bryn will kind
bloodshot.
of like look away as if like, oh, I definitely didn't see that. Like act like nonchalantly about it.
And,
Oh,
he's-
hello. Oh, sorry. I was just looking for. Oh, there it is, and I'll go over to look at where the mail stack usually is or whatever. We are back from adventure looking for new work.
And if you look over sort of this, like where the mail stack is, you just see a large stack of just pieces of paper. Look,
I'm just gonna grab the giant stack of mail and hand it to Van. Start sorting through this.
so you look at the papers and hand them to
Vin.
Vin, and you see that they're just stacks of letters of resignation from the guild.
Do we know did as I'm like looking through the letters, like are there reasons?
Just it's varying to.
You start opening them.
They're just
Yeah.
pieces of paper. They're not
Oh,
like
okay,
they're
okay,
not
okay.
like in an envelope or anything. They're just
Okay.
like
I thought it
papers
was
that have
like
already been opened.
the mail inbox.
No,
Okay.
no, it's just like a stack of papers, and you can see that's from varying degrees of like civility, from appreciating the opportunities and working with such a esteemed adventurer, but based on current events that they can't continue being associated, straight up to just letters of you're this whole order is a traitor to the empire, and I hope that you burn or some stuff like that. So from end to end, people are either very pissed off or cordial or somewhere in between.
Mhm.
And Taryn sees that you kind of got hand those papers, like, yes, just if you don't have to take the time to write a letter. If you don't want to, you could just tell me.
We're not-
and
We're not here to resign. We're here to pick up our next job.
Is
Oh.
Ron hands him a donut from our travels. There's Anything we can do, Guildmaster?
Oh, and he just seems just really like overwhelmed and like a mix of just complex emotions of just heartbreak and joy and hope, but also just self-doubt, all kind of mixed in at the same time. And he just kind of just like takes the donut from you, and he's just kind of like awkwardly holding it, not really understanding what you just did, and he's just holding it because you handed it to him. Essentially, he's not eating it, he's not doing anything with it. Oh, well, things are a little sorry, things are a little in disarray right now, but I'm doing my best. What job were you looking for?
Well, when's the last time you slept?
Oh, I don't know, a couple days.
Have you eaten?
Here and there.
Okay, here's what we're going to do. You get some rest. Belken, do you want to go on food run?
Yes. Name the best meal that you haven't had in a while, and I'll bring it.
More of a
Steak, or something, or anything.
Chicken soup sandwiches?
Pureed carrots. I don't know.
His eyes kind of light up when you say that, Brandon. He's like, I remember after my first adventuring job, and I finally had enough coins to rub together in my pocket, and I stayed at this god-awful inn, but they had chicken soup sandwiches, so I don't remember the last time that I had one, but if you're willing,
perfect.
then I would be very happy to.
Yes, chicken
have-
soup sandwiches, maybe some ale sort of thing. I'm going to start reading because, let's just say I'm the better reader of the group. Figure out what everything, and I just kind of look at the desk with like a little bit of apprehension in my eyes. Figure out what all of this is.
Well,
Belkin.
if you're all willing to help, there's the ledger is here, but I'm not much of a numbers person. That's why I asked someone else to do it. So
Oh,
here.
Tobias?
Oh, well, he's doing what he can to repair anything that's broken and kind of keep things in ship shape. So
But the people came and destroyed the guild? Or
I
damage?
wouldn't go that far. There's some damage, yes. Just people angry, and I understand that. So
Oh,
angry
people
when they
were angry
left.
when they left. Oh,
Yeah.
there is no need for this. You did not know about Quentin, surely.
I did not. But
I
the
hate that-
ledger, I could use some help making sense of what's going on in here. I can't find a lot of the contracts that were pending or that were due to be well assigned. And he points to underneath Quentin's desk to a large safe. I can't get this open. I don't know the combination. So
Oh, we can probably get into that. We don't need a combination. Didn't one of us learn lockpicking?
I started practicing it, but do I know how to pick locks now or not yet?
This is one that she could sit and try it for hours without anybody to tell her to stop.
I
Just saying.
totally can. I could continue to learn.
It's a
Yep.
win-win.
y'all can figure something out. We can get with that or deal with that later. So,
Okay.
We can
Who's
just
good
good
at
a
math?
spell.
Ron, you're good at math? What stat is related to maths? Intelligence. It's probably me. I'm okay at math. I will do this part.
So I'm getting food.
If you went to, you're welcome to do the math part, but I thought you would probably prefer to go on the food run.
What's that?
Math?
I'm joking. I know what math is.
Oh, cool.
I don't do it though.
I was very concerned for a moment there.
Ron is
We know of a place that does the chicken soup here in Tustin because
It's like a chicken. It's like a chicken pasty, right? It's probably like it's just like an in food, right? You can probably go
I can get it anywhere. Or...
Yeah, you could just go to a local, like, there's a local tavern that probably carries or makes it.
Make the chicken soup. You put it in the pasty, and you cook it. And it's a chicken soup that you can hold in your hand and eat like a sandwich.
Yeah, like an adult hot pocket.
I
and chicken
really
soup
want
inside.
one right
Okay.
now. In real life.
Oh, like from Tussin Great Bake Off, yeah. Ron remembers.
You guys have fun with the stuff. I'm gonna go get the food.
Ron would just
Not
clean up after when Valentine
I think-
takes off.
While Ron's cleaning, Bryn will just kind of like give him random orders, like go put this over there. Can you find something that looks like this? Like those kind of things. And I'm gonna start trying to sort through the paperwork because I'm the only one with a really high intelligence, I think.
So,
And Ben's gonna pick the lock.
Ron, as you are sort of trying to clean up around the office, as things are sort of just in disarray, Quentin was definitely a man where, like, it's dirty, but he knows where everything is, kind of thing. He had a system. As you're sort of picking up papers and trying to clean the area up, you find a stack of contracts.
Oh, contracts. Like the ones Terrence's looking for, or what we were looking for? Like the pending ones.
Some of it's sort of a smaller stack, but these are sort of the pending ones. They are the same list that Quentin told you the last time that you were here. So those lists of contracts, including the protection detail at the island coming up in a couple months' time.
Okay. Ron will organize the pending ones to the applicable ones that we're looking for. Is there like is there like a job listing, like a board where I can like put up job listings, or did everyone just went straight to Quentin and he just handed
They just kind of went to him and then he kind of doled them out, kind of thing. He was sort of in charge of like all the operations and stuff, so you had to report to him, pay the dues, do all those things, get contracts.
Okay.
Let's see. And
Ron wants to implement the job board where contracts go up and people take them. And then go to the new Quentin.
Yeah, we need to maybe get a help wanted situation out there. Like we need to replace Quentin.
Oh, maybe I can use my zine.
Cool. That's a good idea.
Put out help wanted notice. Okay, so let's see. Help wanted, and I'm like writing this down. What kind of person are we looking for? What are the qualities? Trustworthy,
loyal, good at maths,
loyal.
nice. Quentin was never nice. We need someone nice.
Put personable.
Organized, very important.
Personable, organized, smart.
Cool. Multiple languages a plus, not mandatory.
This kind of reminds me of the girl at the library.
Yeah, but that's like her dream job. She won't want to do this. She'd be very good at this, but I don't think she would want to.
Wait,
She likes books more than
Order
people.
Iberis, his name is tarnished, so maybe we have to untarnish name and say, oh, we have 4 feathered adventures of, well, maybe not. I mean, not just Ventus, we want jobs everywhere.
It's a new guild name.
Oh, you just say we rebrand completely.
Oh, Order of Sweet Justice, yes.
Oh, I don't know if Terran's going to go for that, but we could ask.
We could
Let's wait till he's eating his chicken soup sandwich and then we bring it up.
Okay.
Sweet. Maybe because we're Sweet Justice, so if like someone
if
does
it's,
something
Delicious
done.
Adventures Guild.
The what?
Delicious Adventures Guild.
What about the Justice Guild?
so
The
Guild
sweet,
of Justice and Sweet.
sugary,
Donuts.
sweet.
Do donuts, not drugs. How about that, his name?
That's a slogan. That's not the name of a guild. This has got to sound powerful. It's got to sound like you want to hire that. The moment you hear the name, you're like, you know, they get the job done.
So we kill bad guys.
So Falcon, you come back with the food and you know, the old man Van takes the seat, you know, and just tries to eat the chicken soup sandwich, and he sort of just listens to you all, and he's like, do we have to change the name?
Oh no, we were just trying to help.
No, we are just thinking ideas.
I mean, I might be convinced, but then we have to go all through the process again of getting a charter and getting the Lord and the Crown to sign off and registered, and I
It's doing business as. We don't have to change the name, just like we're doing business as. It happens all the time.
Or, say we don't change name, what if we take whatever the highest profile contract is, Sweet Justice, we go out and we complete it, so everybody knows that Order of Abir is still doing good work.
Are there any high profile contracts?
Oh, well, let's see. And I'll start flipping through the contracts.
We have that one.
Oh yeah,
what
Ron
about
found
the one that we were gonna do?
Ron found contracts, and here are the pending ones, and these
But
are
the one
the
that's gonna
available
pay us a
ones.
lot of money. That one.
With all the rich people.
Oh,
That
the
would be the good one.
5,000 gold one, yeah. Rich man, rich party.
You do find a contract where they're looking for a protection detail for a 3 Dragon Ante tournaments.
That's right.
And it is located at Sapphire Paradise on the Isle of Sarcelle, which is just to the west off of the continent. And it is paying 5,000 gold pieces to complete.
How much is that tattoo that I want?
You have to be a little more specific because I don't remember which one you wanted.
It was a rare one.
Was it the armor one or the?
It wasn't the armor one. I think it was like blood something.
I want that blood something tattoo.
I had it bookmarked, I thought, but like.
Oh, you wanted the Blood Fury tattoo?
I think so. It was the one where like if I die, I go to 1.
Gotcha. I don't remember which one that is, but if it is rare, from what I remember,
the life well tattoo.
5,000 gold.
Yeah, so it's 1k gold for just the procedure, and then I think it's 5k gold pieces worth of materials, of rare materials too.
5k total.
Yep.
I look at the
So
group
get
and I'm
you-
just like, and my eyes are like wide. I'm like,
Part of the way there. I'll hand that contract to Taryn. We were supposed to do this anyways. Quentin said that we could do it. It's a bunch of rich people, and there's a contest, so we could maybe like have little while we are doing guard duty. We could have like maybe little like business card holders sitting on table nearby to sort of like advertise the guild.
Right. All right. I will get on top of this, and I will reach out to the sources here, as they had chosen to remain anonymous at first. It's pretty standard procedure with sort of the like higher echelon type people that would want to be doing this sort of things. So I will reach out to them. I will let you know the details as soon as I can. Just I think the tournament is in 2 months' time, perhaps 3. I'll check. I believe there's plenty of time though, so a lot of lead time to get these things sort of set up and organized. So
Speaking of tournaments, we were also on our way to Valkan here is to compete in a tournament of sorts.
Oh.
And we could sort of also advertise to see if there are other people with battle skills there. Maybe we could get some recruits.
right, where's this tournament? I'm not familiar.
Well, it's sort of over in Emberholm.
Oh, be very careful, of who you tell what ties you have and where.
Oh, what specifically?
well, we've done some work for the crown, right? And thanks to you all getting us in their good graces before, well, this happened. So, maybe not the best idea to,
So maybe don't advertise.
advertise
Don't
that
wear a feather. Okay.
right. I mean, they're not really in style much anymore, but, you know, to each their own.
Question about the feather, Taryn. Do you know a place I
Feather.
could get one made? Yeah, the ones that the Emperor gave us.
Oh!
Yeah, that's feather.
Oh, emissary of the golden feather. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I thought you were talking about outfits and accessories and sorts. Feathers were a
sort
big
of.
thing a while back. Anyway, I have, well, those are only made by the crown.
Right. But if I wanted like a fake one made, where would I go?
That would be highly illegal, and you would have to.
No, I understand, but like I lost mine, you see, and I don't want the Emperor to find out that I lost it.
Oh, you
That would be
should have
very bad
reported
for
that.
me and for you. Well, I didn't.
Ron doesn't think Emperor will remember.
Okay, if we're all pretty sure it's not going to be a problem. Okay.
You know, we could always just tell them, like, hey, can we get a new one? The worm ate it.
They don't know the worm. They didn't see it. They don't know
Yeah,
how
we'll
scary
just say
it
they
was.
ate it. They
don't have to know, do they?
They don't know.
Just really didn't want to
We
ask
fight a lot
while
of
we're there.
stuff. We've definitely fought a worm.
We fought a worm.
And a
It ate
dragon.
it. And as far as I know, that guy is a worm, so.
That's actually very true.
Mm-hmm.
We'll. Okay, so we won't advertise there, but we'll go do that, and then when we come back, we can do this good job, and we can try to advertise along the road, maybe.
Oh, what if we also hold a recruiting festival?
Ooh.
We show off
festival.
adventurer's skill, get the people excited. We maybe have a food stand, people eat food.
Yeah, and you could charge like I don't know, a silver to get in. You know, like make it a whole thing,
And
a
yeah.
spectacle, if you will.
And we can talk
do,
about
like,
our epic
feats of
stories.
strength. Yes.
raise money for the guild.
Falcan can do his sword dance,
Could
punch,
jump on
kick
top
thing.
of things and punch them
Yeah.
to death.
I can light things on fire.
Cool.
Maybe not fire.
Oh, I like the
I
fire.
mean, we can have
idea.
an
It is
arena.
showy.
I can light things on fire.
He just sort of just looks just overwhelmed and teary-eyed. That's a great idea, and thank you. That would possibly help. Depending on where it's held, we would have to get, of course, permission from the local lord, and well, between you and me, Thornsby is sort of a, well, likes his coins, so might cost us quite a bit to do that here, but we'll figure it out. You know.
I believe Thornsby's in charge. I forgot about that. That means Brandis is here. We should get out of town.
But yes, right. Just thank you so much for the help. And if you think you can get into the safe, that I would be very grateful.
Ron just goes up to Taryn and just gives him a hug.
He gives you a big hug back. Sort of, you see it. You feel his shoulders sort of slump down, like some of the weight's lifted off of him, and he just enjoys the moment.
We will get through this together, Guildmaster, but one thing at a time. Baby steps.
And you hear him just sort of sobbing, and you hear him talking like from with his head on your shoulder. He's like, knew him for 30 years. And now I don't know if I can trust anyone. Do you really even know someone? To be honest, the stories of what you all have done and what adventures you had and your victory in the trial by combat is really the only thing that's keeping this place not completely in the mud, really, our names, so thank you. I'm glad that you didn't leave. You know, if you have every right to. But that probably would have been the end. for us.
Oh, no way we would leave. Have you seen Vin's pamphlets? We give it to everybody. We tell about order all the
And I
time.
dig in my bosoms and I hand him one.
Is this a sort of hand-drawn, like, Vin's pamphlet? Or is this the first issue of your zine that had, like, an ad for Sweet Justice on the back?
Oh, this is the hand-drawn one for sure.
Uh-huh. And he sort of looks and he's like,
He's like, oh god.
it's like, he just kind of puts his hand on, like, on your shoulder. He's like, so proud of you.
That's why we like him. He's nice to us when we fuck up.
This is marvelous.
Well, if you like that, then you'll really like this. And then I dig in and I give him the, like the actual zine.
Can you describe what it looks like? Like what
and the
your-
name.
Oh shit! Did we come up with a name?
No, that's your job.
I have to do that. I've been waffling on stuff. I wrote something down.
Chat
I wrote the
chicken
Craze
soup sandwiches
Chronicles.
for
I
the
kind of
soul.
liked that. I don't know. Something Chronicles. We'll figure that out. That's Future Me's problem.
You've got a couple different, like, you know, A/B testing for your first run, so you have a couple like different names you were trying out and seeing on the page, so it can be whatever you want to hand him at the moment.
Sure. So it's like a like an off-white paper, like tea stained almost, you know, with like gold fleck and like etching and like this pretty like leafing, like gold leafing around. And then like very newspaper-esque where there are like columns for articles and then like drawn pictures of like the food at the bakery that we ate and like a really heroic picture of Ron. Like basically he looks like a superhero with like this beautiful cape and like a crown and he's like fighting, you know, just like unrealistically like depicting
You're saying that
Ron.
Ron isn't beautiful and has a crown. I don't know what you're trying to say.
Well, no. It's just like I'm depicting the events to be like better than it actually was. Like he's just like on a pedestal, you know? And so, yeah, just like these just drawn images and stuff of that happened like recently in the last couple of days for us.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. It looks exactly like him.
Yes. Mhm.
It's exactly how he looks all the time. Amazing.
Yeah. And it's sort of like very finely made. It's sort of like that sort of like parchment material that has like thread like in like woven into it, and a nice off-white, perhaps like eggshell embossed. And he's just like and he turns it over and sees kind of like all the information about like you all, and like I think you all decided to like hire Sweet Justice and stuff on the back was what you wanted, and
Yeah.
and he's like, is this yours? Did you make this?
Yeah, it's my zine. I'm a businesswoman.
You all never cease to astound and amaze me, so it's the reason you're all my favorites.
Oh, shucks.
Aw.
And I like bumped his like shoulder.
Right. Well, have at it. He sort of points to like the large like safe underneath Taryn's or not Taryn, sorry, Quentin's desk there in the office. And you can see like some light like scuff marks or like people trying to pry and stuff, so
Ron,
Yes.
what sort of things does your axe break?
Oh, all sorts of things. Yeah.
Like safes?
It could break safe, maybe, depending on material safe was made in.
Let me give this a shot. Come on, I've been practicing.
Okay, we should let the Vin try to
me try.
pick safe.
Go for it.
So you've got your thieves' tools that you're sort of using in your training, and while you aren't quite proficient yet, you're still learning. So we'll let you all kind kind of attempt and do some things here on this one. So what I would like you to do, you're not proficient, so you can't add your proficiency bonus, but this is a straight dex roll.
Straight dex. So I'm not adding anything. I'm just rolling. Or am I
And
rolling?
then yeah, I think
my
your dex
is
modifier is a
+0, so-
+0. And just to kind of give you a heads up before you roll,
Oh, before I roll. Okay.
or
No,
whenever
use it
you're
before
sort
I
of
roll.
picking a locks, there's no, you can't like retry if you fail.
Oh, interesting.
So it's not a time-based thing. It would be, you know, if you roll and you fail, then that would mean that the lock would be beyond your skill to open necessarily.
I can't
So-
like go try again or like.
Does anybody have like a
Ron
magic
is-
trick that can help her? Maybe.
Ron is gonna cheer Vin on with the flute song and give her his inspiration.
Nice.
And then I think I have something as well.
Something. What check is this?
Ability check? Question
It's
mark?
gonna be, it's essentially a skill check, but or an ability check, but you don't have proficiency, so she's just rolling a d20 because her dex is +0.
Okay, but it would be a dex based, is what you're saying?
Huh?
I can give you strength, I can give you con. Hold on.
I also have magical guidance. When you
can't.
make an ability check that fails, you can spend 1 sorcery point to re-roll the d20 and you must use a new roll. Could that work? Okay.
Yeah, so Ron already gave you his inspiration, so you could use it to get advantage straight out of the gate.
Okay.
And then if both of those fail, then you could use your magical guidance to re-roll one of them. So you essentially would have 3 chances, kind of.
Okay. Yeah. Anybody else can add anything?
I can't. I can only add stuff to myself. I didn't understand how it worked.
Okay.
Wait.
Okay. I waited.
Okay, no, I can't do anything. That's like I forgot I
Yeah,
changed our
that's
spells at one point.
I have Bend of Luck, but I think that's for other people, so I don't think I can use it on myself.
Let's take
I'll
a
just
look here.
hold up some light for you to make sure it's very well lit. That's what I'll do. Get to the, like, you know, I cast light to have a little flashlight situation going
If
on.
there's any places to sit, I'm just gonna flop in a chair and relax and watch Vin work.
Yeah. Yeah, you were right, Vin.
Doing great,
It's for
Vin.
others. Yeah.
But that's
Okay.
where your sorceress, your magical guidance will come in. So roll 2d20 and take the highest one.
Come on, baby. Okay, the highest one is 8.
So that does not succeed.
So then I can use magical guidance to re-roll. All right. Come on, come on. Darn it, it's a 6.
6. Well, those were your highest of all 3.
Yeah, 8, a 5, and a 6. Fuck you, dice.
Oh, is your dex +0?
Yes.
Oh shit. Okay.
I do not have any decks.
All right. So you try as you may. You're fiddling with this lock and trying to figure out the combination, and you think you have it a time or two, but you can't get to it. It's tricky. You know, picking locks are one thing. Most of them are simple, but picking something like this or trying to figure out the combo is a totally different story.
In a frustrated fury, I'm like sitting on the ground almost like a kid would, you know, with like I have my legs crossed and I'm just like really tinkering it. I get mad and I like kick the safe and I'm like angry and then I throw a firebolt at it.
You kick the safe. It
Take 2
hurts.
points of bludgeoning damage.
It hurts. You hurl a firebolt at it and it dissipates onto the safe.
And then I walk away and I'm like, don't care what's in that safe anyways. And I sit on the table and I look at Ron and his stupid axe. I was like, you could try.
Do you want to use axe for a little bit?
don't know how to use the axe. It's fine. I'm not very
Ron will teach you. It's
strong.
okay.
You
Ron,
could
like-
try with your axe.
Ron like grabs Vin's hands and like teaches her how to like swing properly with the adamantine axe and where to hit it, like on the hinges of the
I'm
safe.
like pouting while I'm doing it. I'm like, this is dumb. It's not gonna work. I hate it.
You will feel much better when you will destroy safe.
Just don't miss the safe and chop off your foot or something.
Don't, when you swing, don't let it go. It will fly back and hit Valken in head.
Oh, don't worry
Okay.
about that. I'll
That's fine.
I'll swat it out of the air. It's fine.
Oh, this is a cool trick. A whole axe. You could just be like, no.
If it's a projectile, sure.
Oh,
Right? If somebody throws an axe at me, I could.
I want to see this. How about we go out back and I throw some axes at you? What do you say?
Okay.
Alright, cool. We'll be back. This is important.
I don't know if I could do it on a throwing melee weapon. I would assume I can.
What if they're throwing axes, like some little ones? I'm sure the guild has like a weapon room.
I have
I think if something
some
turns
basic
into a
things.
projectile, that it should fall under my ability.
For this moment only, you can change your mind later when we're in real combat, but for this moment only, can Bryn go throw a bunch of throwing axes out that can, and he deflects them.
I mean,
for
yeah,
Varium.
it's anything like that. That's a missile. Like he can deflect them. Like it doesn't have to be like arrows or
Like an
anything. Like
axe.
he's a monk, so I mean, if you look at the class feature for your deflect missiles, it's just it'll be a ranged weapon attack. So
So it's not.
I mean, it
Well,
would be
it's
like
not
we're.
wax. It has a ranged property.
so
Okay.
there you go.
I mean, I could just catch them too. If you wanted.
No, I
What?
want to see you swat them out of the air. Get ready, it's coming at you. So we're just in, while he's teaching her, like they're having a like heartfelt moment. You can just see us out the back window, and Bryn's just like throwing axes as fast as she can at Valkan.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, you can just deflect them. No big deal,
Amazing.
unless you
Amazing.
don't want to.
I'll catch the last one and pretend like I'm gonna throw it back at her, but I don't.
Bullshit. Oh, you got me really good. I cannot deflect axes. I mean, I could try to just deflect them like with shield. Pretty good at that actually, but
That's what shields are good for.
it's true. You know what else?
I
they're
wonder
good
how
for?
they're. I wonder if
When
they've
you go to
broken
a
it yet.
buffet and they're all out of plates, you can just take your shield and load it all up.
True.
Very
And you
useful
can-
item.
Is it flat or is there a lot of bevels and?
Bryn's shield is made of.
Trying to think how many
pieces
mugs
wood,
of ale
so it's
you
pretty
could fit.
flat. It's actually pretty flat, but then there's a central sort of like divot where the metal piece is, which is what you use to.
So we
Like
could
parry
stack
things.
a bunch of ale around the middle. Okay.
Yeah, the underside's covered with dragon hide, but like if you hold it upside down, it's pretty flat.
Okay.
You can actually pour the ale into the middle. Ooh, or like cheese dip, you could like fill this little middle divot with like the dip, and then you could just put all the food around. Have like the whole thing.
Is that where you put your hand?
No,
You're carrying
my
the
hand
shield.
goes into these two straps.
Okay. Because I don't want to eat where your hands been.
Well, I wash my hands.
Do you?
I do every day.
Burns very clean, yes.
Oh, hey, Ron.
Hi.
Did you come out to get some fresh air, or?
Yes.
Oh, watch this.
I assume we
Watch
would have
this.
gone back inside
And
by
I
now.
threw. Oh, okay, yeah, maybe we're walking back inside. I just wanted to throw another axe.
Was Ron going to attempt to try and hit the
Ron,
safe?
yeah, well, Ron was gonna like coach Vin on how to use the axe just to make her feel better. So maybe she gets some aggression out. Like,
Yeah.
so you look at the hinges, yes, and then swing axe on hinges and go.
She can still use it. She's not proficient, so and so the way that would work is she'd roll a d20, and then it would be -1 for her negative strength score or strength modifier. So you could try it, but you actually can't even make a dent in this safe, unfortunately.
Whoa.
Vin can or Ron? Nobody
Vin
can.
cannot,
Oh, so
and
Ron still could.
I'm just like, I can't do anything right.
Oh, sorry, Vin. It is a very strong safe. Alright, Ron will take over and start swinging.
all right. So, and you noticed that when Vin was sort of hitting the safe, it had like a almost like a, I don't want to say like not necessarily musical, but sort of a like a ringing every time that she went to swing and hit it. It's a large, it almost like reverberates as she's striking it. And as you swing, you can kind of hear this, and just you're swinging sort of with all your might, and you're making some leeway. But essentially, I'll just kind of give you all this. The reason that Vin couldn't necessarily make a dent into this safe is because it's not made of iron or steel. It is made of mithril.
Oh.
What does that
So
mean?
she just, no matter how hard that she tried, she can't actually hit the safe with that weapon. But you can. But instead of rolling and doing AC and damage and all that stuff, if you would like to try and open this safe, you can. It will literally take you all day, and you will suffer a point of exhaustion doing it.
What is mithril? I'm writing notes.
Mithril is a very special type of metal, normally found deep in the earth or under mountains. Very highly revered as a strong but light and hardy metal, essentially.
Is there like something that like sorcerers can't use, but like
It's armor.
paladins can?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's like you can get really good armor made of it usually.
Ron, you should melt this down and make an armor.
Yeah, sounds good idea. But I think Ron feels that this is important enough to spend the time to.
Before they destroy the safe, just, you know what? Let's just check. Bryn would like to make an investigation check to see if Quentin is the kind of guy, because I know guys like him, and they always keep that passport written down on a post-it under their keyboard. So I'm just gonna check the desk for a hidden note of the passport. Investigation.
You look and you do not see a passcode hidden around.
Like under desk, inside drawers, looking for false drawers, all that sort of thing.
Or like, do we know his birthday or something dumb?
Yeah.
No, unfortunately, even though he may seem like one of those kind of type of guys, it's not something that you would be able to easily find.
Ron is gonna try 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Good thinking.
Okay.
Try this one next round. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It.
See,
So if you're trying the combination,
You're
are you like
smart.
1 and 1 1? Damn. 1 and 1 2. Damn. 1 and 1 3. Damn.
Yeah, we did that for a little while.
The amount of time that would take to go through all of those numbers and to brute force them would be
I mean, Taryn Van's got time.
not that kind of time.
Does he though?
Oh, he doesn't. He's old. I don't know how he's gonna get into that then, but he's on his own.
So just if there's you don't know how long this safe combination is, so if it's four digits, that's 10,000 possible combinations.
Yeah.
Just saying, if it's 5, it's
Ron is just gonna.
Joe gets it. I'm just saying Bryn doesn't get that. That's
Ron's gonna cast magic weapon on the axe. and then maybe see if that helps.
I mean, you can hit it. Like magic weapon's gonna last what, an hour or so? I think, is that how long magic weapon lasts?
Yeah, 1 hour.
1 hour. I just kind of pulled that out of the old D&D brain, but yeah, I mean, it would make a difference, but over the amount of time that you would take, like a full 8-hour day, like it'll help, but you're still gonna be exhausted afterward.
That's
But
fine.
if you take the exhaustion, you can get it. You do get it open, so it's going to happen. It's just a matter of time in this case.
Ron's all sweaty and his armor's off and he's just swinging away in his loincloth. He's like, finally gets it open and just falls to the floor. Like, oh, it's done.
And also, just to kind of remind too that even though your armor is elven chain, then meaning that you can wear it even though you don't have to be proficient, it is more than likely made of the same material, with it being so light and flexible.
Well, so you already have mithril armor? That's cool.
Not technically mithril armor, but yeah, so it makes sense for it. But as you all kind of arrived like a little before the afternoon, like it's 9-10 o'clock at night, and you finally just make enough headway to just break off like the hinges and just kind of get this thing open. You've been kind of going at it just all day, but you can finally get it open. Thankfully, you have this adamantine axe to kind of get you through that. And what you see inside of this safe are a lot more just papers. You see a second ledger.
Oh.
You see a
Look in the
stack of
books.
other contracts, previous contracts you haven't seen or heard of before. You see a notebook in there as well. And I believe that I didn't have you roll for this while he was hitting. For Bryn, make just an investigation check to look through the just one ledger that was found on the desk.
It's an investigation.
Yep.
Dirty 20.
Yeah, as you're looking through sort of this ledger, you recognize the transactions and like run-of-the-mill like business, like guild dues, contract, money coming in, those sort of things. But sort of like the balance sheet, like at the end, based on what kind of money was coming in, like this guild should have went under years ago. They were definitely not making enough money to sustain an order even of this size.
Is that suspicious in that, like, we should have been if everybody was going out on missions and paying their dues?
Nope. It's suspicious in that how did the door stay open on this place if enough money wasn't being brought in to sustain it?
Taryn, I need to ask you a sort of difficult question.
Of course. Is he kind of like rubbing his eyes and like bong, you hear in the background as Ron is just like going at it on this safe.
Sorry, this is maybe not the best time, but I think we cannot wait to deal with this later. If I'm
Right.
doing the math correctly, the guild is not making any money. I don't mean now, I mean previously.
Well, I mean, we don't do it for profit. We just take enough just to keep the doors open,
No,
and
that's
make
what
sure
I'm
that
saying. You're not making enough to keep doors open. How do you pay rent? How do you
Well,
pay
I mean,
taxes for the city? How do you pay for food?
Well, Quentin took care of all of those things for us.
But where was he getting this money from? It is not here.
I mean,
You
we
were
had to-
barely making enough to stock the fire in the hall with firewood.
Well, I mean, he did raise the guild dues once Thornsby came in, and well,
Right, but were people paying them? Like, there's no money coming in.
and you know that the guild dues being raised is a very recent thing. This wouldn't been like something to deal with this. So what are you saying that we? What are you saying?
I'm saying, is there some other source of income that is not reflected here?
Not that I.
Did you get like
What?
a grant when you went to open guild way back when, and you've been living off of this?
No.
What
I mean,
about
we put-
donations? Do you have donations, benefactors?
No.
So Quentin was just materializing money out of thin air.
I don't know. I mean, I pulled my money together when I stopped adventuring to open this place, and I thought it would be enough for a while, and then when we started charging the dues, that it should have, been just enough to make sure that we can still operate. That's as far as I knew. I don't have a benefactor. I don't have any other money. I mean, we
Something
grow our
is
own
not
food
right.
to cut down costs, and
I'm not trying to make you feel bad or be alarming, but you need to shut it down like yesterday.
And you, about this time, Ron, you finally get the safe open and kind of pull some of these items out. And like I had mentioned, there is a notebook. There is some other contracts in there, as well as another ledger.
Oh. Bryn, there's a lot more stuff in here. Like a notebook, ledger.
I'll just read everything you said, Max.
I'll grab the ledger and look at that first.
Right? Yeah, make me another investigation roll.
13?
A 13. As you are looking through this ledger, a lot of sort of the line items are written in a cipher, and some of these line items are bringing in quite a bit more money, and you don't recognize currently what these items were and what it's supposed to be.
If I compare the ledgers, is it clear that this one's where the money is coming from and what should have, like, basically the information that's not making things add up properly and the other ledger is here? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a cipher. I don't really know anything about ciphers.
Would my helm of languages know the cipher thing?
This isn't a language, it's more of a code. So there's kind of a little distinction there. This isn't like a different language. It's like something that he may have made up just to make sure.
Would
no one
I
could
know
read it.
the code? Like do I just am I all knowing when it comes to literary things?
No, but you can read any language.
Okay.
So if it's an actual language that if he was just trying to write it in Draconic or something, then you would be able to read it. But this isn't another language.
Maybe this notebook will have some answers.
Yeah, can I investigate the notebook?
Sure, you open
Maybe
it
it
up.
has something to help me break the code. Yeah, I'll open it up.
You open it up, and it is also in code. It's coded. You can make an investigation roll on this one as well.
Okay. Is it an investigation on the notebook just to see if I can get any information out of it, or an investigation to try and break the code?
You will not gain any information until you break the code.
Okay, then if this is to break the code, I'm going to use an inspiration.
Okay.
And I will give her a bend of luck die as
Okay.
well.
So what's that mean?
I roll a d4 and you add it to your whatever it is.
So with inspiration, I got a 16.
And I give you a +1 as well.
So 17.
Okay. A 17. It's a difficult cipher, but he's not like a wizard or anything. So after spending some time with this notebook, and you're able to sort of kind of suss out what some of the cipher is, and luckily it's the same as was on the ledger. So being able to break this helps you out with the ledger as well. But you can see that in this notebook there are just various contacts, different sort of mercenary companies, information, people who to talk to. There are associated mercenary companies in this sort of ciphered ledger, where you see things like finder's fee and large influxes of gold coming in from that. And then you see other like symbols next to the line items in the ledger, and they're not codes, they're just sort of like a symbol that is representing something, if that makes sense.
Yeah. What are the
but-
symbols? Or
there
you're not
are
telling me right now.
there's several different ones. It's like, you know, one of them might be like a key, one of them might be like an X with a circle around it, one of them might be like a rudimentary drawing of like a dagger or something along those lines. You notice that all of the ones that have those symbols next to them are tied directly. It'll say a different like mercenary operation or a company and then have that symbol. The ones with the key, the line item, all it has is a key, and that is it. And in the ledger, there you see a key inside of that ledger as well, with no associated contact information with it. And who was looking at the contracts?
Ron was, since he was in there.
Yep. So the contracts, you can also see some of the associated symbols. You see some with a key, some with like daggers, some with other symbols that are sort of on the like earmarked corner of all of these contracts, sort of related in some way. But as you all are getting to the bottom of what all these things mean, we can go ahead and take our first break. And when we come back, you can try and figure out what the heck is going on here and dig up a little more information.
Oh, this is crazy.
So, don't go anywhere. We will be right back. Go get some snacks and stretch your appendages, and we'll be back for some more D&D. So, see you in a bit.